Welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Lori Johnson. We start with a topic that's difficult to address and might not be appropriate for all viewers. It's called FGM, female genital mutilation, and it's now happening in America.
More than 5.5 million girls are subjected to female genital mutilation each year. For centuries, women have been performing it on family members, anywhere from infancy to puberty, in mostly Africa and the Middle East.
My legs were spread and I just thought, this is not right. And then I just felt this pain. I remember just screaming. And I think
even if the victim survives, she suffers a lifetime of physical and emotional trauma.
Female genital mutilation is when a razor like this or scissors are used to cut off the external genitalia without anesthesia. Often, the area is then sewn shut until marriage.
Referred to as female circumcision, a more accurate term is female castration, because the victim loses her ability to become sexually aroused. As a result, she's not tempted to engage in premarital or extramarital intercourse. Although not dictated by the Quran, it's mostly practiced in 29 Muslim-controlled countries like Somalia, Yemen, Ethiopia, and Egypt.
Circumcision is the reason why Muslim women are virtuous, unlike Western women who run after their sexual appetite in any place with any man.
Ayan Hirsi Ali underwent genital mutilation when she was just 5. On the 700 Club, she said it will only stop when Islam is radically reformed.
Not a day goes by without people who are Muslim using their faith, using the guidance of the Prophet Muhammad and what they read in the Quran to engage in violence and in oppression and to justify that in the name of religion.
The procedure leaves only tiny openings for urination and menstruation, often causing constant pain, recurring infections, and infertility. Intercourse is excruciating, childbirth life-threatening. Currently, an estimated 140 million victims worldwide, including places you wouldn't expect.
An astounding 500,000 girls and women in the United States have either undergone female genital mutilation or are at risk of having it done to them. Many live here in New York City and other places with immigrant populations from countries where cutting, as it's called, is commonly practiced.
Legal immigrants settling in Los Angeles, Seattle, Minneapolis, Columbus, and Washington, D.C., where survivors marched to raise awareness.
How did it happen? Oh, I was 11 years old, and we were told that we, meaning my sister and I, she was 13 at the time, we were told that we're going somewhere to be made into women.
The experience of FGM, it's, oh my, I don't even think there's a word on earth that I can describe it with. It's cruel, gruesome. No one on earth, I wouldn't even wish it on my enemy. That's how gruesome it is.
Congress passed legislation making it illegal to perform female genital mutilation in the United States and making it a crime to take girls out of the country to do it, a practice known as vacation cutting.
24 states have also outlawed both practices. Shelby Quast leads Equality Now, an organization dedicated to ending FGM in a generation.
Counselors, teachers, the medical community, police, whoever really are frontline professionals that might engage with girls who are at risk, that they have a responsibility to report this as a form of violence against children.
Why is this practice performed?
There's many reasons for it, but many of those are based in patriarchy, based in controlling women, based in controlling their sexuality. A lot of it's for myths, mythical reasons. There's myths that her body parts might grow to represent a man's if they're not cut off.
Discussing the practice is generally taboo, although courageous victims speaking out could become powerful agents of change.
So I just hope that other women who have gone through female genital mutilation speak up. Nothing's going to happen to you. Even though I've been told that when I go home, I'll be stoned to death, I'm still not afraid to talk.
They say voicing what was done to them is therapeutic.
I had scary nightmares, like of people chasing me and then kidnapping me to do something to me. But once I started talking about it, you know, I was one of these people that will crawl up in their own little corner and then not talk to anyone. But look at me today. I'm brave enough to stand here and then talk to the whole world.
Several Muslim women break their silence in the groundbreaking documentary Honor Diaries.
We are seeing more cases of female genital mutilation in the US, in Canada, and in UK. So it has been imported into the West as a cultural practice.
Paula Queskin hopes the film will open eyes.
I do believe that it's an element of the honor system, and I think if we can break down the honor system, we will break away issues like FGM and child marriage and forced marriage and honor killings, because these things are all linked together.
Victims of FGM should know there are treatments to repair some of the damage to their bodies. Gynecological surgeon Marcy Bowers is one of the few physicians currently performing them.
Surgical treatment, defibrillation or removing the scar tissue in the middle is important, especially where it comes to pain and where it comes to blocking outflow and allowing childbirth. But also the newly minted surgical procedures that are proven to work are to restore sexual function.
While these treatments will improve a woman's quality of life, the hope is one day they won't be necessary here and around the world.
Up next, we'll introduce you to an amazing group of Christian volunteers dedicated to helping the youngest victims of the opioid crisis get a good start in life.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
As the nations rage, you can stand with Israel.
History is being written, and I want to be a part of it.
Call 1-800-700-7000 and get to life.
This is our nature as a country.
Discover the untold story of how Israeli volunteers are changing the world.
We consider it our duty to reach out and help others around the world.
For a gift of $10 or more, you can own the acclaimed CBN documentary To Life.
To treat a human, no matter what he is, which religious he has, which color he is. This is what I'm doing.
Support Israel in their time of need. Get to Life, now available on DVD. Call 1-800-700-7000 or log on to cbn.com.
And I wish that other people throughout the world could see this side of Israel.
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
Now, a closer look at the youngest victims of the opioid epidemic, babies born to addicted moms. Here's a ministry dedicated to both.
Each day, hospital workers deal with babies born addicted to opioids.
They often are very, very unconsolable is probably the best way to describe it.
It can take around 2 weeks to wean these tiny victims off the drug. Then hospitals discharge the babies, even though they still feel the after effects.
Most of the time, the babies still go home with mom.
Provided she promises to stay clean.
A new mom who's withdrawing, taking care of a difficult baby who's also withdrawing, too often breaks under the pressure and falls into a dangerous relapse.
I believe unless the people of faith stand up, the opioid crisis is going to continue to overtake us.
That's why Christian counselor Dawn Hennessy started Angel Arms, a ministry helping both moms and babies recovering from addiction.
I believe, honestly, that God has called the people, His kingdom people, to save the lost, the broken, the orphans, the widows.
Here at Angel Arms, these volunteer snugglers focus on the little victims.
We love them. We do pray for them. And sometimes they just need held really tight when they're shaky, belly aches, coughing, spitting up a lot.
Thanks to medical training and help from above, they can help with the extreme agitation suffered by the babies. Snugglers also give mom a break so other volunteers can focus on her.
There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of people I've worked with that have come out into recovery now, and there's a lot of children that we've been able to help.
Kathy Shively's addiction began, as many do, trying to ease the pain.
I have 3 dental implants, so the pain from the dental implants caused me to be prescribed lots of pain medication. So opiates became an addiction.
She brings little Connor here because these snugglers soothe him in a way no one else can. In addition to childcare, Angel Arms provides free baby supplies, helps moms find housing, and pursues anything that will promote stability.
And I really felt trapped, and I think that the heroin addiction, that's a good description of it. You just feel trapped, and you can't get out, you know? Until you have somebody come along your side to help you.
In order for her child to receive care at Angel Arms, mom must get regular Christian counseling here.
What I tell my staff is you need to see them through the eyes of Jesus as broken people that need love. So we've actually experienced whole families coming to know Jesus just because of a little baby.
When I come here, it brings me encouragement. If I need to cry, they hear me cry. If I need to know what the next step is, they guide me in the next step.
Angel Arms never charges a fee because outside donors helped fund the ministry.
We just rely on what God gives us, and so far it's worked.
And as it grows, so does the need.
We have police officers calling us. We have drug court here in Pennsylvania. So we have judges calling us, attorneys, social workers. We have people from West Virginia, Ohio, Maryland calling us.
Fortunately, other faith groups are calling as well.
I do tell churches before we work with them, are you ready for the least of these to come into your congregation? And are you ready to put your arms around them and love them?
And Hennessy plans to expand because she knows help is needed beyond regular working hours.
This large home was donated to Angel Arms. Once it's renovated, it'll be used as a residential program where people can stay overnight for weeks at a time.
They're praying God will provide the resources for the big renovation. So while the opioid epidemic rages on, ministries like Angel Arms work to break the generational curse of addiction.
When we come back, we'll tell you why it's never too late to get in shape.
When I came to Regent University, it's like the world opened up. I felt like I needed to advance my career and go back to school. Regent was a perfect fit for me. The Regent professors are world class. You are equipped. The focus of the faculty is on each individual student, whether it's online or in person. You become a part of Regent's family. You carry with you not just the content and the knowledge, but the confidence to understand that we can be significant in the world.
Regent University. Follow your path.
Getting older sometimes means getting better. Meet a woman who's living proof that healthy choices pay off with interest.
At age 61, Barbara Hannah Grufferman feels happier and healthier than many people half her age.
We can't control getting older, but we can control how we do it.
You might find it hard to believe that until about a decade ago, Barbara lived like a couch potato.
The last time I had worked out seriously was back when Jane Fonda was doing those tapes, you know, Feel the Burn and all that stuff.
By middle age, she put on weight, felt sluggish, and believed her best years were behind her.
And I was starting to feel, is this what turning 50 is all about? And it was a very upsetting moment for me, and it was a very scary time for me.
In the midst of her depression, she chose to take a little walk.
I put one foot in front of the other. I literally took my first step to my whole new life. I didn't realize it then.
The walks started happening more often, became longer, and she started mixing in a little jogging.
I was starting to lose the weight. I was starting to have more energy. I was just starting to look better and started to feel, for the first time since turning 50, actually positive about my future.
That positive feeling led her to complete 5 marathons, write 3 books, including her latest, Love Your Age, becoming an AARP ambassador, and getting off all medications.
Doctors say regular exercise means we can ditch a lot of the pills we take, like antidepressants, blood pressure medication, and sleeping pills.
It also reduces the risk of chronic diseases like cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, according to the Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Michael Roizen.
Well, it's never too late until you're 6 feet under. So it's never too late until they're putting dirt on top of you.
In his book, Age Proof, Roizen cites research showing exercise can significantly strengthen our immune system.
Yeah, this is really strange because no one ever expected this.
Scientists now tell us our ability to fight off everything from the common cold to Alzheimer's is largely determined by the bacteria in our gut.
And believe it or not, exercise was one of the great things at changing the bacteria inside you, we don't know why, into being much healthier.
But not just any exercise.
Researchers figured out the least amount of exercise we need to do to achieve the maximum health benefits. It involves 4 types of exercise.
10,000 steps a day, which can be measured on a fitness tracker, 20 jumps each morning and night, 30 minutes of resistance training 3 times a week, and 20 minutes of cardio 3 times a week.
Doing 20 minutes 3 times a week of things that make you sweat in a cool room. That's what we call cardio.
As spokeswoman for the American Osteoporosis Foundation, Barbara feels especially passionate about resistance training, which can mean lifting weights or using your body weight, as in push-ups or planks. That, along with calcium and vitamin D, strengthens bones.
This is critical because people, when they fall at an advanced age, can be debilitated for the rest of their lives. And that is something that I think about.
While exercise isn't the only anti-aging tool, it's often the first.
Because I was feeling so much better and motivated to live a healthier life, I decided to, investigate what should I eat.
Barbara switched to a plant-based diet, avoiding sugar and processed foods. So while aging is inevitable, don't give up on life. Walking, cardio, and resistance training can help you avoid many of the pitfalls of getting older.
Coming up, we'll tell you the health benefits of tea. Stay with us.
Are you suffering from feeling tired or worn out during the day? Can you not turn off your brain at night? You are not alone. Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor, and I've partnered with the Christian Broadcasting Network, and we're gonna bring you some unbelievable information that you can use tonight to get a better night's rest.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to get your free copy of Protect Your Sleep today.
If you want to be an attorney with a passion for serving people and for excellence, Regent University needs to be high on your list.
Regent's award-winning law school doesn't just create lawyers. We create leaders, judges, prosecutors and defense lawyers, civil litigators, and leaders in government.
My focus has been trying to really make sure we have the future leaders we need for the bench and the bar and for society generally.
You'll learn from highly credentialed leaders who are current and former judges, distinguished scholars, and ACLJ counsel.
I'm so glad I chose Regent. The relationships here have been amazing. The faculty have been amazing. Not everybody's called to the same thing when they leave law school, but they're called by a God who has a purpose for their lives, and He is going to use that education to make a difference in the world.
Regent will prepare you to be a purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyer. To start your rewarding law career, complete the online application, submit your transcripts, and take the law school admissions test by July. Apply today.
If you want to be an attorney with a passion for serving people and for excellence, Regent University needs to be high on your list.
Regent's award-winning law school doesn't just create lawyers. We create leaders, judges, prosecutors and defense lawyers, civil litigators, and leaders in government. Ready to become a purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyer? To start your rewarding career, complete the online application, submit your transcripts, and take the law school admissions test by July.
Not many substances are as widely studied as tea. If you're not drinking it on a regular basis, you might want to start.
When it comes to our health, tea packs a powerful punch. Combined studies examining thousands of tea drinkers have led scientists to conclude a consistent dose of tea is good for the body.
Most of the research was done in Asian countries on people drinking hot green tea. The amount mattered. Usually, people only saw health benefits after drinking at least 3 cups a day.
That's the dose Manhattan cardiologist Patrick Fratellone recommends to his patients. Benefits include lower risk of diabetes, liver disease, and more.
The active component in green tea is EGCG, and that's a polyphenol that helps reduce cholesterol, heart disease, and protects against cancer.
It comes from the Camellia sinensis plant, as do black and white teas.
I like organic tea because they're grown in, you want to make sure it's grown in an area that's free of metal in the soil, so you don't want to have lead, cadmium, mercury, any bad toxic elements. If it's in a bag, you don't want a bag that has a staple on it. Sometimes that could get in the tea, but I'd rather have loose. Sometimes I don't even strain it. I leave it in there and tell them time to eat the leaves.
Research shows green tea also helps the brain by improving memory, reducing the risk of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and depression, as well as significantly lowering your chance of having a stroke. Leave it longer in the hot water and it gets even better for you.
Tea is meant to be drunk plain, and you get the more medicinal benefits. When you add milk or sugar, you can deactivate some of the active medicinal components. If there's anything to add, I would add raw honey. So it's better to have hot or lukewarm. So when people have iced tea, green iced tea, you lose a lot of the benefits.
In addition to the teas you'd find at the grocery store, there are also lots of other teas that are very effective at treating specific medical conditions in lieu of popping a pill.
There are many teas that have antibiotic properties, so you don't always have to take an antibiotic. Yarrow has a great antibiotic profile against many bacteria and viruses. I use barberry, berberine. These are all teas from natural plants.
He points out many conventional medicines derive from plants.
We have a tea for arthritis. I use white willow bark, which is from the tree salix. It's the active ingredient of aspirin, so I mix white willow bark, a little turmeric, a little ginger, and probably some devil's claw.
Dorota Meller needed to overcome her chronic fatigue.
So I was really dizzy all the time. I felt weak, I felt tired, I couldn't get out of bed, and then when it was evening time, I couldn't fall asleep, but I was always just lethargic.
Dr. Fratellone discovered a problem in her intestinal tract.
So not only the iron, but my vitamin D, my vitamin B, I wasn't absorbing anything that I was eating or my supplements or vitamins. I expected to be put on medication or additional supplements. I really didn't know, but Dr. Fratellone said it's as simple as a tea mixture. And when he first said it, I was maybe a little bit hesitant. I was like, how is this tea gonna help me?
Within a month, she felt better.
And my iron for the first time in probably 10 years is normal. And so is my vitamin D. So I know that whatever he gave me, it worked, and it's as simple and as easy as a tea.
I believe as an MD and an herbalist that the gut is the gateway of all disease. So I want to heal the gut first. So you might take gluten, dairy, and let's say corn out of your diet. Unless you heal your gut, you're still going to have the symptoms. So the gut healing tea contains slippery elm, marshmallow, meadowsweet, and raspberry.
He says cleavers, mullein, blue violet, and lady's mantle are good for breast health and PMS.
These are all teas for keeping the female side active, and we make that as a tea. I give that to some of the patients when they're going into menopause to ease in with a nice natural tea instead of taking a lot of things that are harmful.
It's important to know these teas can interact with conventional medicine, so check with your doctor or registered herbalist before drinking them. The growth of these treatments has led to a relatively new healthcare provider known as a naturopathic physician. They attend an accredited 4-year program focusing on botanical medicine, food as medicine, and other natural remedies.
I think there needs to be more marketing to realize this medicine is available and that you don't have to jump on a statin or a blood pressure medication when you might be able to control it with just some dietary changes and maybe the use of an herb, which is not that much different than a drug, which is why it's important, whether it's tea or herbal pills, that you do see a naturopath, because you need to have coordination of care with other medications as well.
While naturopathic doctors practice in each state, they're only licensed in 19, with more on the way. So for overall better health, begin or increase your daily dose of green tea. Research overwhelmingly concludes it's worth the effort.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Healthy Living. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.